Nick Bear Brown here. You're looking at some AI generated footage of famous writers and non famous writers. This is for a module of the first third of my Northeastern course on prompt engineering and generative AI. It's also a standalone module on prompt engineering. So, why are we looking at writers? To make the analogy that prompt engineering is like writing, that's a James Baldwin, not that much looking like him, the James Baldwin writer there. And that the point we're trying to make with this analogy is that most people can write sentences. Not everybody is Hemingway, Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, uh, Jane Austen, and all the rest of them. They spend a lot of time in their craft to write effectively. Anybody can write a prompt into a language model, or most anybody, just like most anybody can write a poem. Very few people write good poems. Very few people write effective prompts. What prompt engineering is about is very much like a writing class where they give you a lot of writing tips and you practice a lot of writing. It's about learning how to prompt effectively. So throughout the course, we're going to give you a bunch of tips. And it's also about looking at the output. So basically, language models will always give you output. And we'll explain what a language model is exactly in the next video. But sometimes they're wrong. And sometimes they don't give you, they might not be wrong, but they might not give you exactly what you want. So you need to refine it. You need to get the output and change and iterate and change and refine. To do that effectively, to one, get what you want as opposed to whatever the language model gives you, and to do it quickly. This is what prompt engineering is about. It's about effectively talking to language models. And we give you a bunch of tips. But the main thing is practice. And we have a GitHub where you can practice as much as you want. We have a chatbot associated with the course where you can practice as much as you want. You can also practice on all the major chatbots, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, et cetera, et cetera. What this course is going to be about is effective tips and for talking to language models to getting the output that you want. That is what prompt engineering is. And it's very much like writing. Most people can write. Not that many people write well. And writing well takes practice, it takes learning. Most major writers have taken courses in writing. Many have literature degrees. And so this is what this course is about. This is the first third of a course I teach at Northeastern on prompt engineering and generative AI. This is the prompt engineering part of it. It's also a standalone course that you can just take on YouTube about effective prompting. And I'm going to try to keep the lesson short. We're already at 3 minutes, and I'm going to try to keep them to around 5 minutes each. Little short lessons that you can watch and then practice. And you'll get better. If you do it, you'll get better at prompting. You'll get more effective prompting. And prompting is probably the number one skill in the world right now. Every industry is beginning to use language models to help them. They're looking for people who can effectively use those language models. And it's already dominating pretty much every industry, and it's just started. Prompt engineering is a crucial skill because it can be 10 minutes prompting or it can be 10 hours in prompting and not getting what you want, depending on how effectively you prompt. So this is what this is all about. We're going to give you lots and lots of little tips on both prompting and how do we evaluate the output. If we don't get what we want, what do we do? So that's it. I'm going to try to keep these to around 5 minutes or so. Again, the reason why you're looking at people writing on laptops is to make the analogy that prompt engineering is writing. Everybody can write. Not everybody writes effectively. Prompt engineering is about learning to write effectively. Okay? Take care. That's it.